Your slip and fall claim, how much could it be worth? While you would no doubt love to win thousands upon thousands of dollars in compensation for your slip and fall, there are a lot of different factors that will determine how much it really is worth. The good news is that we can help you to understand how much your claim could realistically be worth. If you have been injured due to a slip and fall on someone else's property, and your fall was due to a hazardous condition, you may be considering taking out a lawsuit against the owner of the property. Please note that every single claim is different, and even the venue where you file your claim/lawsuit will be different. The good news is there are a lot of common factors in every claim or lawsuit that will help you understand roughly how much your claim may be worth. Your medical bills. One of the main considerations for working out how much compensation you will receive revolves around your medical bills. The amount you are awarded will depend on how much medical care you received after your accident, what type of care you received, and where you live. Your compensation may also reflect the amount that the healthcare provider billed you, or the amount that they agreed to receive in full. Many healthcare providers will agree to accept less than the amount that they billed you, so it's vital that you know if your state will allow this. You may also be interested to know that slip and fall claims are usually worth more than your medical bills, so it would be okay for you to assume that you will be entitled to at least that amount of compensation. You may also be entitled to compensation for your pain and suffering. Your claim and pain and suffering. Proving your pain and suffering may not always be easy, as there are no specific rules or measures for working out how much pain someone is in or how much they have suffered since the accident. However, the amount of money you have been charged for your medical treatment is usually a good indication. The insurance company or the lawyers who are evaluating your claim may use a multiplier to determine how much compensation you may be entitled to. If, for example, you tripped over a loose floorboard, and you broke your arm and will never be able to use it as normal again, it may be determined that your pain and suffering is 4 to 5 times the value of your medical bills. If you injured your foot after something heavy fell on it and you made a full recovery within 4 weeks, your pain and suffering may only be valued at 0.5 times your medical bills. In some cases, injuries may not become apparent until months after your slip and fall. If this is the case, you may want to negotiate the value of your compensation with the future injuries in mind. Loss of earnings. If you lost earnings because you were injured, you may be entitled to compensation that covers the cost of those earnings. You will have to prove how much you earn, and how long you were absent from work due to your injuries. You will also need to ask your employer to verify in writing what your typical salary is and how long you were off work. Lost earning capacity. You may be entitled to compensation if you can no longer work because your injuries are severe, or you're no longer able to work quite as much or perform that same type of work as you performed before you were injured. A vocational rehabilitation specialist may need to assess if you are entitled to claim for lost earning capacity. The specialist is likely to assess your injuries, and work out your future work prospects and if you can return to your job. They may offer a testimony to help support your claim, which could work in your favor if your working capacity has been diminished. There is also a chance that the owner of the property that you slipped and fell in may offer compensation in a variety of ways, such as paying for you to be trained or educated in a different field, or paying you a sum of money to compensate for your reduced capacity to earn a salary. Other expenses. Many people often have other expenses that they have to pay out after their injury. For example, you may have to pay for someone to drive you to the hospital each month so you can attend your doctor's appointment. You may have to move house because you can no longer get down the stairs, or you may have to buy mobility aids because you can no longer open cans, or walk without help. You may be compensated for these expenses, that are often referred to as incidental expenses, in addition to those that cover pain and suffering, and loss of earnings. You will have to prove that the incidental expenses are as a result of your injury, and you will also need to provide copies of your bills too. There are a lot of different factors that will determine how much your slip and fall claim is worth. The information we have given you can help you to understand how much your claim could realistically be worth, thereby helping you to receive the compensation you're entitled to.